Shut your eyes if you don't want to see this forbidden knowledge.
When you see something, say something. 1-800-1-VOT.
How full of crap do you gotta be to write this scene? This is season 4 of The Boys, and this is one of the main character's sons. It's Homelander's son, a kid named Ryan, and he's singing "If You See Something, Say Something" with a bunch of puppets. Now, I loved this show the first season. The second and third season were okay. The fourth season, jumping the shark doesn't quite cut it. They did things to the shark that are just forbidden. That shark really suffered. And man, the audience suffered with him. And that's where we see this scene of this kid singing, "If you see something, say something."
When you see something, say something.
This phrase comes from the New York Metropolitan Transit Authority, not exactly a right-wing cabal. Civil libertarians found this phrase revolting from the start. It's kind of creepy and Orwellian. It asks you to be suspicious of anything. By 2010, President Obama was in love with the idea of it. His head of the Department of Homeland Security was Janet Napolitano, and he had her take this from New York and trademark it and promote it nationally.
I feel like the world has gotten scarier and crazier, and I think we're just reflecting that.
Eric Kripke is right about that. Joe Biden put us in a near-nuclear war with Russia. We're closer to a nuclear war than we've ever been in our history. His withdrawal from Afghanistan was bloody. Americans are feeling squeezed financially. The nightmarish policies they forced on people during the COVID crisis. So when he got a show that was making fun of crazy, overbearing government control, he decided to make this whole show about attacking Donald Trump. And when they ran out of stuff to say about Trump, they took stuff Obama made and loved, like "If you see something, say something," and put it in the mouth of characters that are supposed to be Trump and conservatives. Once President Obama trademarked "See Something, Say Something" for DHS, he then developed an internet version called flag@whitehouse.gov, where citizens were supposed to tattle on each other's websites and blogs, they used to be a thing you read, if they contained fishy information on Obama's healthcare scheme. The flag@whitehouse.gov service was pulled down within weeks. It was so Orwellian, and the backlash was tremendous. This little badge here you saw a picture of, bloggers would put this on their blogs with their logo or brand, making fun of this ridiculous Orwellian program. When I saw this scene with the "See Something, Say Something" puppets, it was ridiculous. These guys are outright lying. This is just ham-fisted propaganda, and they are twisting around what happened. The people they supported pushed this ridiculous Orwellian program. And the showrunner, Eric Kripke, he can't get his story straight. It's either, "Oh, we were writing about Trump from the episode 1, or "We were a Trojan horse."
We did not think we were making it any more or less political than any other season. That's what's so funny about it. You go back to previous seasons, like a lot of what Homelander says are direct quotes from Trump.
Yeah, we did not think we were making it any more political than any other season. Just because in season 1 we had political jokes every 15 minutes versus season 4 where there's a political joke every sentence, we didn't notice the difference at all. So if they don't think there's any difference, which we know is crap, why are they a Trojan horse?
And so it's really like a Trojan horse.
The main character of Homelander is literally named for the Department of Homeland Security. He is obviously based on Superman and is a satirical send-up of truth, justice, and the American way. But I noticed something. When the "See Something, Say Something" part came on, I realized that the writer is captured in a certain fashion. He's sort of programmed. "See Something, Say Something" belongs to the controller left, the big government, surveillance state, the people that censor social media posts. It is squarely theirs. Frankly, the Boys universe has a delusional, sort of opposite day thing going on. In the world of the Boys, Super Megacorp Vought is set inside a fictionalized New York City. Vought Film Studios makes propaganda superhero movies. Vought News Network is a clone of Fox News. In Eric Kripke's world, these are the dominant media forces. But in the real world, it's Disney that runs the superhero propaganda movies, and they're filled with propaganda, and they're far from right-wing. Major platform Amazon should also be mentioned because they are butchering Lord of the Rings. So already you've noticed that instead of the creative writing you got in the first season of The Boys, they're taking the worst aspects of the American left, and then they're just projecting it onto the right. So if this is scary, tell your friends to stop being scary, dude. It gets even crazier because the social media in our world is mostly controlled by the left, and they're incredibly censorious. They throttle and censor everyone they disagree with. Then there's the billionaire founding Nazi, Frederick Vaught, and Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. Now in the real world, who is a billionaire Nazi that funds a bunch of political propaganda that we know of? Now this is so bad. This is gaslighting. See something, say something. You know, they were projecting. But this, the mask is off, man. This is crap. So they take policies of the left and they make them policies of the right. And they take George Soros, his biography, everything, even this pose, and they make some Nazi right-wing founder guy. Look, George Soros was a Nazi. He was Hitler Youth. And you got to add the other crazy activist billionaires that want to get in on it. Mark Zuckerberg, that caused craziness in the 2020 election, Pierre Omidyar from eBay, and Mike Bloomberg. And so once I thought about it, after that see something, say something part, the writers are pretty bankrupt of ideas.
And so it's really like a Trojan horse. You know, it's got this kind of outrageous outside, but I'm really proud that in this day and age with everything going on, we can work on a show that like really says something about the world we're living in.
I mean, I get it. If these were the people I supported, I'd want to talk about anything but them too. They are just destroying intellectual properties, amazing stories we grew up with. They're ruining franchise after franchise. They ruin our social media and make it a place where it's an ideological minefield. So I'd talk about anything but them.
And so we get to talk about Trump. We get to talk about thoughts and prayers, white nationalism, the fucking NRA. And then, there's a lot of, the writers in the room that are all news junkies and just really fucking furious about everything that's happening in the world.
I just thought it was cool to make him breathe like a viper. I saw it in the edit and it was just cool. It's kind of sad to unmask the political motivations behind this show and why this season 4 is so bad compared to the first one. This guy just admits they're a room full of angry activists and they're having a tantrum at everything they don't like, their grandparents or whatever. They're angry at the world and they take it out on us. The craziness is they take their political parties, the machinations they support, the organizations they support, and they just flip it around and act like these right-wingers are all evil and we're going to do evil things if we had superheroes, and they're looking at themselves and they don't like what they see. And so when I started this video, I thought I'd show a little hypocrisy. You know, the see something, say something scene really jumped out at me. But man, I'm sad that George Soros thing, that's the worst. I don't know. So we know it's much worse than we thought at The Boys and probably at most of these studios. And it's too bad because I was hoping the show was redeemable, but now we know it's not.